Good afternoon, sim fans, race fans, RC fans, Racing 393. So because of the weather, running videos, as I don't run them in the rain, is a bit limited. So I'm afraid you've got just me chatting videos and fettling with gadgets, I'm afraid. So we're back on the old corner weight scales, and we've got my TT01e on them at the moment. So there's not a huge amount from a running up and down a runway kind of perspective. That this will, I mean, I don't know if ever these will make too much of a difference. I think when I put my Schumacher Fusion on there, it did, and I was adjusting the sort of the spacers, it was shifting the weight around. It is a very sensitive bit of equipment, but I'm going to move my camera so that you can see. So you can see the car is on there. It's, you know, sitting there fairly square. I've got the new wheels and tyres on it. Now when I weighed this car on normal set of scales, like kitchen scales, I think 1.6 kilograms, and you can see here these are a bit more accurate. This is 1.59. You know, it's yeah, it is still, you know, 1.6. It is sort of moving around a little bit, as you can see, but we've got like a reasonably not a bad weight distribution as it happens. 51% of the weight is to the right and 49% to the left, which seems about right because you've got the battery on one side and then all the electrics on the other. Now if you're running a LiPo, they're inherently a lot lighter than the normal standard batteries. So yeah, if I had a LiPo on it, it's going to be that percentage would be completely different. And I think front to rear, that would stand to reason as well, because the motor's over the back, and I've got the Sky RC performance analyzer also over the back. And what I have noticed with this car is the back tends to be a little bit softer. You know, it's a bit more sort of free to move. Clarify, that's what we've currently got. I'm going to try and alter the spring platforms to try and put a little bit more weight on the left hand side and maybe the front. But the problem is these are really quite cheap shocks, and the platform that you would adjust is fully up anyway at the top. Shock absorbers are fully at their sort of softest position, so I can't soften them anymore other than putting different springs on, because the platform, or the bit you adjust, is fully at the top on all of them. So I'm going to adjust one side, so when you go down with the top of the platform, it should in fact put more pressure on the spring on that side. In theory, you need to adjust the right hand side of the car to make the left heavier. That's I'm trying to think back. I think that's what we did. So it pushes down harder, when in fact pushes the car up. So, and then puts the weight on the other side of the car. We're going to try it and see if it works anyway, so bear with. So I've wound the platforms on the right hand side of the car down. It's quite tricky, so they're not the best of designed shocks, but they work reasonably well. And you can see I've settled it down on the scales, and it was 52.48. So now it's got more weight on the left than the right. Sorry, depends where you're looking at it, I suppose. So looking from the front of the car, sort of that way, is where the battery is. I now transferred more weight to where all the controls are on this side. So the sort of the side to side's a little bit more freer, equal. I'm now going to do a little bit more adjustment and see if I can get it. I don't know if it'll go to 50%. I'm not sure whether that's an option that I should be aiming for, but we'll give it a go. So with a bit of fettling with the sort of the various shock absorber mounts, I've got it to where I want to get it is 50-50. Now front to rear weight, that's kind of a bit more fixed. In a way, I mean you can obviously alter the platforms accordingly, but it's quite a delicate process, and it's quite sensitive. So I'm not even sure if that's completely, accurate as accurate can be. But for something that's only a 10th scale, and in the day it's not. It's just more. It's just a bit of gadgetry RC equipment. I'm not sure it's going to make a massive difference. However, it will put more weight on certain points of the car, which might make it a bit more stable when running anyway, especially if it starts to sort of go a bit off track, then you might be, it's pretty down to me, you might be able to control it a bit better. But right, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm quite happy with what I've done. I've altered 3 platforms. They're a bit fiddly, but it does put more pressure on the springs in certain places. I have also purchased some softer springs, which I want for the front than anything, so I'm hoping they'll turn up soon. I probably won't run them with it. I'm going to try it like this and see how we go. So the final figures for now, 1.59 kilos, 50% of the weight across equal sides. Front to rear is still 56-44, so a softer spring on the front will help that. There's nothing on the front, there's no motor, all the weight's in the chassis. The front is just nothing, so I definitely need softer springs on there. So what else have I done? So if I go over what I've done to the car, as you know, I've put the wheels and tyres on. I put little shims underneath the steering arms. They haven't made much difference, but taking a bit of the play. I think most of the play is in the track control arms. These are non-adjustable, as in you can't adjust them on the fly. They're not turnbuckles, so that could be an option going forward, which is they're easy enough accessible. What else did I do? I fixed the wire that goes into the plug, because the wire had come out, the pin, making it a bit awkward. So we're getting there. I don't think there's much else. Oh, I trimmed the body shell as well. So I trimmed the sort of the side skirts and the front chin, spoiler. So that's all trimmed back. It's not, you won't notice it looking at it, but it is. It used to sort of ground out a little bit. Right, so all these little improvements hopefully should make a difference. Once the weather's not raining and I've got a spare afternoon, I'll take it back out again and we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping for some improvements, but you never know. Anyway, that's just a quick video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and listening, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.